Willie, last week, Coach Royal was saying that when Justin came back, there would definitely be some rust, just given that the time he was off. Did you see any of that in the game, or was he pretty much back to normal?
I guess if you want to just try to pick out some things, you can. Was he as sharp as you want him to be? No. There are a couple of reads where I think he'll take back after seeing the game, knowing some simple things that he could have done and helped us out a couple of times. But for the most part, I thought he was on, and it started with that run for the first touchdown, and that was crazy, for him to just take off and run for 40 yards and score. That was big for our entire football team.
All right, Steve.
Willie, with Royce playing through pain this year, have you had to manage him at all practice-wise to keep him ready for games? And has he kind of shown or proven something to you being able to go each Saturday when you know what he's dealing with?
Yeah, we slow some things down for him throughout the season, where he'll get a lot of mental reps on Tuesdays and then go out on Wednesday and get some reps so he can get himself in some rhythm in what we're doing. So we did that for pretty much the latter part of the season, and I think it helped him big time. Like I say, he hadn't been 100%, but he's been going, and I think taking some load off of him helped big time.
All right.
Coach, we've seen injuries this year, like in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers going down, Zeke Elliott going down, and the teams not playing, even close to as well as they can. Obviously, your case with Justin, why is it that one player, he's obviously really good, but makes that much difference for a football team?
Well, you look around the country and seeing a team that lost their starting quarterback, it's been a struggle for a lot of them. And that's not just in NFL or college, even in high school. That guy, especially at the quarterback position, usually get all the reps. You get a majority of the reps. And I think when you're a guy, and you're the guy, and you're the franchise, and everyone see you as that, it's not just your offense, it's your entire football team that lose a little bit of themselves. And I think what we saw on Saturday was the entire football team was excited to have Justin back out there, and they all played that way.
Two of the last three games, Tony's had season highs for rushing yards. What's clicked for him, and how you feel like going into the end of the season and into next year for him?
I think our offensive line starts there. Our offensive line and doing a great job, and then we started running some plays that Tony ran really well. We started running those plays a lot more, and when we have our offensive line playing the way that it is, and being able to get it into those guys' hand, Tony or Royce, any of those guys, it always helped. But I think putting some plays in to capitalize on what he can do for us has been big for us.
On the right towards the back, Jonathan.
Willie, going into the game against Arizona, you said obviously the biggest challenge was going to be stopping Khalil Tate. But when you look at everything with it, obviously the defense wasn't happy giving up 28 points. But when you look at the challenge that was presented, would you say that was one of the best defensive games of the season for your squad?
Yeah, considering what we were going up against, and you look at the 28 points. Those are things that we could have controlled, especially with some of the penalties that extended some drives to get them down there, and then the one interception where they were down there, so they didn't have far to go. But I thought, considering how explosive Arizona had been against everyone else, for our guys to go and hold them down like they did, I thought that was big time, And again, having a bye week, I thought Jim and the defensive staff did a good job of putting a nice, simple game plan together so our guys can go out and play fast and use their athletic ability to help us against a good football team. And by being simple, our guys were a lot more disciplined in what they had to do, and were in position to make those plays, and that made a difference.
Ryan, front right.
After the Cal game, did you ever consider putting Demetri Burch in as quarterback, given his skill set and going with that style, or do you have him kind of ticketed as a wide receiver?
No, I actually, sorry about that. I actually after seeing him going against our defense this past week, I was like, geez, if I'd have known that, maybe we could have, But again, at that time, Demetri hadn't been playing any quarterback. He had been with the receivers down on the scout team, giving our defense a look. And then so we brought him back over there to just have some depth at the position once Justin went down. Justin went down, and then Taylor was down too. So he was probably one guy down, close to getting in, So, but we have a spot for him on this football team, and he's gonna be pretty good for us. He's one of those guys that we have to find a way to put the ball in his hand because he's special with it. He showed all of us. There's no hiding him on this football team. They all know that he can play and help.